Hello guys and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3 of Really Awesome Place Civilization Beyond Earth with Rising Tide. When we left off we were establishing our first three cities, our capital Jiangsang, our second city Dangai, and our newest city, the ever controversial name of Yuemu. So in this episode we obviously want to continue our covert ops. We do have quite a few covert operatives at this stage, but I also want to clear these 6 alien nests around our city of Yuemu and begin to develop that city. With that in mind, I need to build some more naval units. I might even consider purchasing some. But yeah, I think for now we're just going to jump straight in with a next turn. As well as that, the Polystrasians, or Space Aussies as I colloquially refer to them as, are unhappy with us, being our closest neighbour. That could become a bit of an issue, but something I'm not overly concerned with right now. And integer are in the game, so I've noticed as well before I started that all of the 8 civilizations, including myself, have landed now, so the map is full, as it should be. We're nearly on turn 100, so the Polystralians taking a bit of damage over there. Now, we will see here, so in Jiangsang we are building the Gene Garden for the mission. In Dangai they are building a silo nursery. So I might actually begin this assault on the aliens right now, I think, although we do only have one submarine, which is a bit counterproductive. See if we can purchase a second one. In here would be 680 energy, which is quite a lot at this stage. So as much as it pains me to not attack these units, I think for now, yep, we simply have to let them be. I might actually move over and see if we can just sit on one of the nests. Maybe that might help a little, encourage ourselves as such, but I think it's a bit short-sighted to attack now. There will be a lot of alien units here in the fog of war, essentially. So yeah, continue on with the next turn. Our explorer here is in position to do an expedition. And next turn again. So I have my coffee this morning. It is a Friday morning here in Seattle. Rather wet and miserable day outside, but it is Friday, so it's not so bad.
Consider a simple problem, such as navigation in a spaceship approaching light speed.
So we finished physics. The big thing here is the ranger unit. Observatory can be okay if there's Thraxite nearby, and a dry dock is okay too for production of military units. And we actually got a rank up in purity. It seems we got a rank up in something. Oh no, it's simply because we unlocked the ranger unit and we were at the 3 level of affinity. So I think I'm going to go for the +5 heal here. I don't actually use rangers that often, to be honest. They're better units out there compared to the rangers. I think here, you know what, I'm actually going to begin pillaging these tiles. So we got an artifact from that, and 25 food for Yuemu. So I'm actually going to have a look at some of the artifacts right now. I know we should have 3, yes indeed we do, just to see what we can get at the moment. Cities can bombard through terrain obstacles is pretty weak, so I'm not going to take that for now. We shall just continue onwards. Just slowly begin moving up towards this alien nest. Actually, we could just move over here to this one and pillage here also. And 25 energy, it's not too shabby. So here might be a bad idea to attack this unit. Bit worried about our trade convoy. If there's aliens between Jiangsang and Dangai, it is liable to get attacked, but not something I'm going to overly concern myself with at the moment. Just noticing this explorer unit is quite weak at the moment. A little concerned about that. If it was to be attacked by aliens, I think at the moment is our main concern. And there we go, one of our explorers lost. So, not the end of the world, but certainly not ideal either. So I think with that in mind, we'll actually move this explorer into Jiangsang to heal. And I think, yes, we shall begin removing some of these aliens. I think it needs to happen. Now, this guy is merely for protection. I think we'll do most of the damage with our sub, because like if this guy attacks, he'll take damage, but if our sub attacks, it will not. So let's bombard with Yumu, where possible. We'll actually move that over there, and we can move on to this nest next. Our worker here is going to... This is a forest, so I think we will construct a farm here. It'll take 10 turns, but we'll also get 20 production from it. This fellow is finished the paddock and the chitin. I think we'll just move to here and construct a farm. And that guy needs production, so I think... Certainly tempted to continue developing the infrastructure, but I think it would be wise to develop a bit of a naval force at the moment. With the aliens and also with the Polystralians. I just want to get their name correct. Oh, Commonwealth of the Pacific. He's not too happy with us at all. So yeah, I think it might be wise to build some defensive units. I actually lived in Australia for just over a year. I lived in Perth on the western coast of Australia. Beautiful city, really friendly people. So I did see that Polystralian unit move into this area here, southeast of Dangai, so something I need to keep in mind. And this fellow can continue assaulting the alien units. Choose production in Yumu. And I think in Yumu, 50 turns for anything of note, so I think instead we shall build a recycler to get the production up at the beginning. I think this fellow here might move up and, yes, try and kill this guy here. I should have moved the sub first, but life goes on. Sub can move up and finish. And our worker down here can construct a farm. So 2 more turns until our gene garden in Jiangsang is finished. That should be... certainly help move one of the missions we're doing along. I can actually attack with Jiangsang. I should have really looked at the notifications area. So, continue on. I'm quite happy with our starting position. It is very quiet. Traditionally I would be waiting for units to be much closer to our cities at the beginning. Seems we got relatively lucky in our planetfall in this playthrough, which is nice. So we'll take our shots with our cities first. Got a couple of kills, which isn't too bad. So we can move on and pillage. 25 food for Yumu, and now the aliens are going nuts. They're so angry. And just move that guy back down just so he's safe enough nearer to the submarine unit. Some relatively quiet turns. Next time we can start developing another naval unit in Jiangsang. I'm kind of expecting the Polystralians to start a war with us soon. And LOD, one of our nemesis from the Nemesi from the last playthrough. So Duncan Hughes quite happy with us. Might be a good ally considering he's our second closest neighbour. So, yes indeed, we finished the quest, build a gene garden, and we got 13 affinity towards purity, which gives a level up too.
I know we can tackle this next problem, because we succeeded in tackling all the problems that came before it.
So, as I said, level 4 in purity. We get an upgrade for our missile rovers. I think we'll go for attacking cities. Might be good, they can be our designated city assault units. And here, I think I'm going to build a Tide Hunter again. So we need to remove some of these aliens. Might take a peek with this guy, see if there's anyone on that tile at the moment. Doesn't appear to be. So you can move in and pillage. And ideally I would like to put damage on that sea dragon. But it doesn't look like we can, so I guess for now we'll just attack this hydrocoral. The hydrocoral does spread. It is definitely akin to a weed. Certainly a good analogy for it, I think. And Yumu finally has a bit of breeding space. We can maybe purchase a worker in that city and begin to work the tiles close by. Nothing of huge initial impact, but still perhaps a useful city to have in terms of strategic placement. I'm hoping that doesn't kill our cutter. It didn't. which I'm glad about. So, quest decision. Trade convoys will not be attacked by alien units, so that is fantastic. That helps a lot, so we can begin developing trade units in Yumu and trade between our other cities. So I think we'll continue assaulting with our submarine. I might actually move it a tile closer first. Just on the next turn it's that little bit closer. That should free up our cutter to be able to move out a bit. And he can actually move to... There's fine for now. And our next turn, moving back down to our cities. 8 more turns for 2 more subs, so we'll be much more formidable when we have those units, which will be nice. Fully expecting a bit of drama here from the Polystralians. But not overly concerned about it. So veterancy on our sub, we'll take the 10% damage bonus. I think this fellow will just move onto the nest pillage. So we get a new artifact, we'll check that out in a second. And our sub can, I can see where it is it seems, and assault this unit here. While it's doing so, we'll pull up the artifact library. We'll start with Old Earth and 2 Alien. That gives us the 100% expedition speed, which is pretty rubbish at this stage. Subbing that in, we get back to the cities can bombard through terrain. Artifacts are discovered 20% more often. Seems interesting enough. All units gain +2 visibility is quite nice, but there's so much better ones. I don't want to really waste the opportunity, especially with so little artifacts at this stage of the game. I don't really want to waste it on something that isn't fantastic. Just having a look here at what we could do with this explorer. Not a whole lot to explore within range. I know there's a hydrocore on that tile up there. So I think instead we'll chance our arm and try and move down here. We can turn the resource icons back on, and next turn. So in about 6 more turns we'll have a much stronger military. It seems the Polystralians are taking care of their alien infestation, I guess. If I'm going purely route, I can refer to them as infestation. So we've cleared the main alien nests around the city. There's just one more up here to the north, which actually might begin to... Actually, this submarine can just stay here because that's going to take a couple of turns to kill. And this guy can move back to Yumu to heal. It'll heal much faster in there. Our Covert Ops are tipping away, 10 more turns and 15 more turns. Might assign some of these to Liqueur. And we'll assign our other free agent to Weltgeist. So they are travelling. That is fantastic. We should get a lot of science per turn as well. Well, not science per turn, but once they finish missions, you get a science. That's the civilization bonus for Chungsu. So definitely expecting a war to break out very soon with Polystralia.
Oppression, chaos, and death may come from the barrel of a gun. But so occasionally does victory.
So ballistics finished. The big one with ballistics, of course, is rocket battery for our city defense.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to come here. And I'm grateful that we are living up to the expectations of the people who sent us.
So, and purity level 5 reached, so we're actually flying ahead in purity, which is fantastic. So +1 production from Cider Nurseries we will go for there. Now our research, I'm not exactly sure what to go for here in research. So I'll have a quick look at the wonders. Stellar Codex is rubbish, I think, to be honest. So if we are not going for a wonder, not straight away anyway at least, what instead shall we go for? I think Phyraxite, Float Zone, Quarry might be good for, this is the purity resource. So Float Zone Quarry would certainly be a good thing to go for. Geophysics might be nice as well, but tidal turbines, we don't really have any naval cities, so it seems a bit pointless. So I think yes, we'll go for terraforming right now. It's good as well. I know I've said it a lot in the previous playthrough, but to keep your affinity progress, keep it directed and keep it moving, because like once the AI gets ahead of you in that regard, that's what dictates the strength of naval units and military units, I should say. So you do not want to fall behind in that regard. So our sub here can continue to assault this Hydra Coral, which the Polystralians should kill on the next turn, I hope. This guy can just move into Yumu and heal. And next turn. So really looking forward to getting these subs so we can feel a bit more active. Having just one attacking unit at the moment is a little counterproductive. So that's the Cavatan Protectorate there, assaulting some alien units. And the Polystralians finishing the Hydra Coral. It's a relatively easy bunch of AIs. I say easy, but in the late game, like, integers certainly become an issue in the late game, but for the immediate sense, there's no like really super aggressive AI, so which is nice. So we are going to continue to Purity and Supremacy. So build one recycler units, and we have one built. So we have another Crust Decision, and we will continue to Purity. So build 3 soldier units. So yes, indeed, we shall. That might take a bit, but we'll keep it in mind. This worker can construct a farm, and this sub can move up towards this alien nest up here to the north. And next turn, our cutter is nearly healed in Uemu. I'm still wondering if a war is going to break out between myself and the Polystralians. City of Dangai is somewhat vulnerable at the moment. Hopefully the North Sea Alliance aren't getting any ideas. They do have a lot of units nearby. So 2 alien nests, which is maybe a good thing actually. We can pillage them both. So, and that is the end of that turn. So nearly turn 100. Fantastic. The early game is slowly ticking away. Maybe that is a good way to look at it. I've never really thought of quantifying early and middle game in terms of turn, but perhaps that is a good way of looking at it. So the North Sea Alliance doing us some favours. They have a lot of units here. Wow. Outside of Jiangshan. Fantastic, but they did clear the Hydra Core, which is nice. So we open with our explorer, who can come over here and explore this other floating alien device. And then this fellow can... I think he'll come up here and support the sub, actually makes more sense. And our sub is actually going to move back one and have a shot. Won't quite kill it, it doesn't seem to, although it did get the veterancy upgrade, so... Now here I'm actually going to heal this unit, which is something I couldn't do previously, which is a bit odd. So 1 and 2 more turns respectively for our submarines, and then I shall start building some soldier units for this quest that we are working on. So I think I do need to start thinking about a new city. Up here might be a good idea. Don't think it would antagonize anyone. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of AI in this area. Franco-Iberians up here to the north of it, but the rest of it is pretty calm. So we have 2 Covert Ops to choose first. So I think first we shall establish a network in both Lecour and Velkeist. And in Jiangshan we shall start building some marines. And our sub needs orders, so I think that sub can... I think I move up here towards this Hydra Coral area. I would prefer to get that that nest before the Chungsu do. Or before the Polystralians do, I should say. I am Chungsu after all. May as well get some XP for our military units while we can. Fantastic. So that is the end of that turn, and on the next turn we shall have a submarine built in Dangai. I think Yumu as well will be finished shortly with the recycler for production, and I need to get a worker there. really considering just purchasing a worker for that city, but I think a trade depot and trade convoy might be a wiser choice. So Duncan Hughes seems quite impressed with us. He might be our ally for this game, but we shall see. So the Polystrelians actually killed that nest, which is not ideal, but to be frank, I don't really mind. The nest is gone and that was the priority. So now this unit over here, I guess we should centralize our forces, so I'll move it up here by Jiangsang. And in Dangai we'll also start producing a marine. I just kind of want to get that quest out of the way. And actually in Yomu I'm actually going to purchase a worker, because that city I don't want it to fall too far behind. It's quite far behind as is. And continue onwards. So turn 100. Things are looking pretty good. Need to start thinking about the endgame. We're certainly moving towards purity, so I think the emancipation victory is something we can begin working towards. That involves contacting Earth, and then setting up a wonder gate, and then settling 20 units that come through the gate. So it can be quite time consuming. As we saw in the last playthrough, the wonder achievement often can fall by the wayside. It can be very slow and very time consuming to build. I think in our last playthrough we were in a bit of a unique position though in terms of our military force. So this progenitor rune is actually unoccupied, so I might get our explorer to move back up towards that instead, or after even it is finished exploring the floating alien structure. So we can explore that structure, and I'm actually going to autopad it up to these progenitor runes, so that'll be 13 turns. Might just sit our cutter on that tile for now. So our bay seems clear now, so that is fantastic. Quick sip of my coffee. So we discovered a new station, and we got a new quest to perform a covert operation of 4 intrigue or higher. So that might be a little difficult, but that's certainly something I'm going to try to do. Now this unit, like we said, we can regroup our units outside of Jiangsang. This guy can come back to Jiangsang as well. The subs are so much slower than the cutters, so I think I'll just sit the cutter on that tile for now. I'm actually fortified there. The worker can begin constructing improvements, and this fellow can also begin constructing improvements in the water outside of Dangai. So our explorer won't know what to do because there's a unit on that tile now, so instead I shall just re-autopad it up to here. And next turn. So the Franco-Iberian city of Licour is quite close to us. Not close enough that I would be tempted to attack it, but it is certainly close. So Duncan Hughes continues to be impressed with us for all myriad of reasons, which is nice. So at the start of this turn we don't have any units to move, as all our units are being autopathed at the moment. So the Franco-Iberians unhappy with our military unit strength. And this is the integer, I think, here. Integer Marine. And we have an alien unit attacking... I don't know what unit that was, but it is now dead. So we have 3 covert operations to choose and some military movement to make with our Marine. I think setting them up along the north of our border, just in case. Dangai is kind of the choke point here at the south, so I think setting up some kind of force up here by this station. We might even kill and remove that station. But before we go any further, we'll get our covert operations going. So, Siphon Energy, and Deep Castle. Let's see how the intrigue in Deep Castle is. Oh wow, I didn't realize you could pull this up. Local health, energy yield, production yield. Oh wow, fantastic. Wow, 218 energy, not too shabby. So let's see what we can do here now. We can siphon science, I think it's quicker as well. So fantastic. Our agent, I think there's 3 ranks. Special agent, I think, is the highest. I could be incorrect on that, but I'm almost certain of it. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. Let's close that up and choose production in Zhongshan. I think Zhongshan will build... might actually just purchase a marine. Yeah. And in Zhongshan we can choose production, and it shall build a... what to build? A rocket battery might be a bad idea. Everything is so fast. I think a network actually will be the one we should go for first. I'll just double check on the network choice. Yeah, we're not actually working any science or any copper here, but just the production and or the diplomatic capital and science alone from that is fantastic. So Yomu needs to step up its production. So trade depot next for Yomu. And our worker here can build a farm. And that is the end of this turn. Things looking good. Looking very good actually, I must admit. I do want to add a little excitement of my own. I think shortly sitting back is rarely a good idea in Civilization. So I wouldn't mind going on the offensive.
I'm open to the possibilities.
Yeah, you know what, Duncan? I'm down with that. So LOD to the north, which is probably a good thing, is also friends with Duncan, so a lot of us getting on is pretty good news. So the Marine, it will be 2 more turns, but we shall be finished that mission shortly. And I might actually just try to intimidate the Australian unit there. Move this guy out here next as well. That might be the end of the turn. I think our subs might need a movement. Yes, indeed. This sub here as well can move down here. And this guy can move to here. Just so we have our force localized. I mean, might make sense to move them down here so we can...
What do you want?
Oh my word, I keep forgetting these guys' names. The Commonwealth of the Pacific might be our single biggest concern at the moment, so it might be wise to put our sub-force down here, but I would prefer to keep them localized in the middle of our kind of space or controlled area, I guess. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. Looking forward to finishing this quest, I must admit. So the Australians up here, they do have quite a large naval force, or naval presence I should say. They must have a space in the polar area to move their units through down there. This guy can actually move up here towards this city, I think. 32 defense is probably won't be able to be taken by a marine on his own, but let's fortify this guy beside the Australians. So yeah, 1 more turn. This should be the turn that we finish this quest run. Hopefully get a couple, well certainly 1 level of purity affinity level up. We shall see. Oh, Brasilia. Okay, well these guys are pretty aggressive, but they are considerably... Oh no, that is Valgeist. Madeira, Liqueur. Oh wow. Okay, so we finished the quest and got 16 affinity towards purity. Fantastic.
We thrive because we built a solid foundation on this world, with values brought from Earth.
So, level 6 purity reached, and we got some upgrades. So our marines are now much stronger. 10% per unused, I should say, movement, which is quite good. And our cutters now as well become... There we go, 15 plus 15% when attacking, and they become broadsides. So I just want to see where the Brazilians are, because they are really, really aggressive. Oh, Citadella. So they actually pretty much couldn't be further from us, so that is absolutely fine with me. I'm sure at some stage they'll start a random war with us for no apparent reason, but I guess we'll deal with that when it happens. I think in Dangai we shall build the rocket battery for some city defense. And this unit here, you know what, these guys might actually have a chance at taking down the city now. But you'd have to move through miasma to around to the far side. But I think, you know what, I am actually going to do that. This guy can move to here for now. And our... Oh, we have a third military unit, of course, so I'm going to move that guy around to here as well. And next turn. So our unhealth level about to dip down below 1 again very shortly, I would say. So the trade depot in Uomu is going to be a big boost to its production and food. Obviously the worker actually doing stuff as well around the city is going to be a big improvement for the city itself. Speaking of which, so we do have a lot of diplomatic capital as well, so it might be time to begin using some of that, which I might actually do right now. I'll finish moving our units. Let's have a look if anyone has anything of interest. Let's have a look at the North Sea Alliance first, because they are buddies. Maybe we can get some work done.
Do we have business together?
So +2 energy from strategic resources might be nice. Plus 20% production for naval units might also be nice. Let's have a look at integer.
Was schlägst du vor?
Nothing particularly interesting here. Don't really want to encourage the Australians. I presume Brasilia will be all aggressive kind of deals we can make. Wow. Plus, but half an energy per turn for each tile that you own. That is nuts. That's yeah, let's give that a go. See if he agrees. Yes, indeed. Wow, that's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. That is craziness. So, and it kind of gets him on our side as well. We're kind of leaking diplomatic capital now, but it won't reach 0 for a long time. And by then it won't really matter. So one more turn and terraforming shall be done. Now this fellow can fortify. And we shall continue onwards. I wonder where our explorer is at this stage. He's just here, so another couple of turns before he reaches this progenitor room. So we do need to... oh, that's a Australian convoy. So good. It's kind of getting 2 birds with 1 stone, which is nice.
Yes, the world is beautiful and unspoiled, but it is wrong. Correct it at once.
So, we have finished terraforming.
The first 5 machines of Earth are the wheel, the lever, the inclined plane, the dynamo, and the screw. And
level 2 supremacy reach, so explorer units can now build an additional expedition, but also with purity level 2 and +2 energy per level of purity or supremacy. So we should have an additional 14 energy per turn, so that is not too shabby. And a couple upgrades too. Our cruiser can now become... Oh, we must level up our purity as well, it seems. Our cruiser now becomes a destroyer. Might be good to... I think plus 20% when attacking, just straight damage upgrade. Our gunners... 50% when inside city. I think we'll go for the plus 10% per unused movement. And we have 2 Covert Ops laying idle, so we shall put them to work at siphoning energy and siphoning energy over here as well. So yeah, I think we shall choose our research. So it's saying geophysics is what to do, but I'm not particularly interested in doing geophysics if I'm being honest. Attack jets would certainly be a good thing to have. Fraxite mine as well would be definitely quite nice. I know we have some fraxite outside of Dangai. It doesn't help our immediate concerns of purity affinity, but you can't always have that kind of stuff. So I think actually, yeah, we'll go robotics into fabrication so we can build some aircraft carriers as well, and torpedo batteries might be helpful down the road as well. But guys, I think with that, we'll call that the end of this episode. As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me. If you have any feedback, comments, all that good stuff, do drop it down in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you. But yeah, I'll see you next time.